December 8th, 2016. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 115 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
So on the day that we post this, Thursday, December 8th, the new MGM National Harbor Casino is opening up.
It was nice that they coincided it with the release of our podcast.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I don't know that they're actually putting it in their ads, but I guess
but they did ask if it was okay.
They called, yeah. We said, well, all right.
Go ahead.
Sort of stealing our thunder. From what we've heard, it looks very nice.
Yeah.
It's large.
Yeah, it looks huge.
Yeah. We got actually an email from listener Mike. He sent us some pictures from the inside. He was able to get in there, I guess, for like a pre-opening tour. And saw it, and it looks big. It looks nice,
and lots of craps tables.
He said 10, he said 10 craps tables.
10 craps tables.
So that's going to be a good size place.
That?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a place with 10 craps tables?
Gosh, I'm trying to think. Bellagio has a lot. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the casino.
But they have maybe like 6 to 8.
Yeah, that's true. Now I wonder if all 10 are all together. See, that's the other thing too. Sometimes with these big casinos, they're like separated into 2 separate casino areas. And,
right,
maybe
like
that's
Caesars at one point in Caesars Las Vegas had 7 or 8 in that one area in the main thing, and then they had a couple in the other casino.
That's true. So Caesars may still have about 10.
They could
just
have
not all
about
in the
10.
same area.
Right.
Yeah. So that's great. He sent us some additional information: 3,300 slots, 58 blackjack tables. I think that includes not just blackjack, but carnival games as well, and
table games.
Yeah, that kind of thing. 39 poker tables. So that's good. They're going to try to attract some poker players. 10 craps tables, 12 roulette tables, and 25 baccarat. So
12 roulette tables.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
I mean, because usually you'll see 2 roulette to every 4 craps or something.
Yeah.
This is a lot of roulette.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. It's about 45 minutes from Washington, D.C. Right. And now you're going on a vacation, right?
We are going to the D.C. area the last week of March 25th through April 1st.
Okay, so you're going to be there with your family.
Yeah, and I'm planning on one of those nights, maybe like Wednesday or something, getting to the casino for a couple hours.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to check it out for us.
So maybe after we eat dinner, maybe we'll head down there. It's 45 minutes, so I hope transportation isn't an issue.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what your options are when you're there. Yeah. You might end up just renting a car, or I don't know. They may have shuttles, but who knows
they could have,
how often the shuttles are going.
Right, especially in the evenings. But it would seem like that would be a good thing if they had a bus transportation.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, as we get closer, you'll be able to get more information. And, of course, we'll let listeners know exactly when you plan on going out.
I'll know for sure.
Yeah.
We'll try and plan that out.
Yeah. Speaking of new casinos, remember we talked about how we went to Hollywood Casino Hamul a few weeks back.
Yes.
And on a previous episode, we kind of jokingly said, well, they're saying, oh, come on out. We'll set you up. And it's like, set you up with what?
Right. There's no hotel.
Right.
Right.
It does have a lot of restaurants.
It has quite a few restaurants.
But we were saying, well, they're certainly not going to be able to give us the kind of comps that we've been getting at Harrah's Southern California.
Right.
Well, maybe we spoke too soon because we have been getting a lot of offers from them.
A lot.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if this is just grand opening, kind of like try and get you out there.
Yeah.
Or if it's going to continue. Because if it continues, it's quite a bit.
It really is. We've been getting a lot of free play offers.
Yeah.
We got like a $50 grocery store card.
Yeah, $50 to Vaughn's grocery store.
And I was talking to some of the dealers at Harrah's Southern California, and they were saying, oh, yeah, they're trying to get people in there. And, when we went, I mean, there weren't many. I think maybe the initial excitement about it has worn off, and maybe they really are kind of getting desperate to get people out there. But for whatever reason, it's been nice, some of these offers we've been getting.
Yeah. So here's something that I haven't told you yet.
Okay.
This week, one of the Harrah's Rincon dealers came in.
Oh, to your office?
To my office. She's my patient. Mm-hmm. And she said to me, we were talking about them, and I was saying, God, they gave me not only a lot of offers, but we've been getting a lot of reward points.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
A ton of reward points, way more than Harris.
That's right. I'm glad you mentioned that because when I looked, it's like, oh my gosh, I've got $70 worth of, and we played there, like once. And
I played there twice, and I've got, I had $380 some dollars.
Yeah,
to use in
way
their gift
more
shop.
that you've gotten through total rewards. Yeah,
more.
in a quick period. Yeah.
And so I was telling her about that, and she said her son actually works for Penn National Gaming.
Oh, okay.
In Chicago.
All right.
He's an accountant, and he does books for them. He's not in the casino, but he's their bookkeeper,
okay.
basically.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And he said, she told me that he told her that their business model is way different. They don't have any, or very few at least, casinos with hotels.
Oh, okay. I see.
That's not their thing.
All right.
Their thing is a casino.
Yes.
And they want to run a casino business.
Okay.
So they stay away from hotels.
Except for like where they obviously have them, like their Vegas properties,
right,
Tropicana and M and what have you. Yeah.
Right. And I think those were bought later, correct?
Yes. They came in and bought them.
They came in and bought them.
Yeah.
Those weren't ones they established.
Right. The
new ones that they opened, their thing is to have a casino, no hotel, and cater to gamblers.
Okay.
And they have restaurants because people need to eat.
Yeah.
But that's not their main thing. And she said you won't see a lot of gift shops either.
Okay.
And I noticed at Hamul, they've got one little gift shop.
Yeah.
That's not their deal. Their deal is you go there to gamble. And she said, and that's why they're profitable. And that's why Harris is in bankruptcy.
Interesting that she has that perspective on it, right?
That was her perspective.
Even though, and again, we're just looking at the Hollywood Casino by us, even though there are not as many people as we see at Harris, maybe that's because, the Harris is dealing with hotel people, so everybody's walking around.
Hotel people, and they're giving away, a blanket, and they've got a gazillion people coming to get the blanket.
Yeah.
But are they gambling?
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
So anyway, that was her perspective.
Okay,
now, who knows if that's true.
Sure,
I'm just saying that's what she told me.
You're passing that along. Yeah.
So it's interesting. And I was telling her I didn't think of it that way, but if I was going to run a casino, I'd run a casino.
Yeah, well, it certainly, takes a lot of the logistics, or it makes the logistics easier, right? I mean, you don't have the hotel to go along with it.
Now, the one thing
also.
with the Indian casinos is, though, how do you get people there?
That's what I'm thinking.
How do you get out-of-town people there if you don't have a hotel?
That's the thing, right? Is suddenly it really becomes a locals casino as opposed to Harris, Southern California, where it is a hotel. We got people coming at least from other parts of California.
Sure, well, other parts of the country, really.
Yeah.
But, think about this as well. They may think, okay, let them stay at these other casinos, and if they're there a week and they get bored losing there, they come over here. You know how people like to switch, right?
Yeah. Well, and Hollywood, one of the things they tout on their ads is that they're the closest casino to San Diego, meaning from downtown San Diego.
From the airport, that would be the closest casino to get to.
One thing that I want to talk about that I saw at Hollywood Casino Hamul that I've never seen anywhere else, I was playing Pai Gow Poker there.
Right.
And I was betting $25 a hand. So just to remind everybody, when you're playing Pai Gow Poker, when you win, they pay you even money, but they charge you a commission of 5%.
Yeah, that makes up for the...
Yeah, supposedly it's a 50-50 game, right? And in fact, when I was playing, it was just me and the dealer, so I asked her, can I bank every other time?
Right.
So
Which you should.
Yeah, and I did have the copy advantage every other time.
Yeah, that's how they get their edge, is that little commission.
It's the commission. That's how they make their money on it. So on a $20 bet, that would be $1. On a $25 bet, like I was betting, it's $1.25.
Right.
Now, whenever I've played at other casinos, they will actually charge me $1.25 every time I win. And the first time it happens, they'll make change.
Yeah,
they've got dollar chips,
quarters
and
or 50
honest,
cent pieces.
Yeah, 25-cent, 50-cent pieces, actual coins at the table. Well, the first time I won a hand, betting $25, she gave me 4 white chips and a small token. It wasn't even like a chip, but it was a token that said .25, like 25 cents.
Right.
And at first I assumed, it's a 25-cent chip. And she gave me too much. She gave me $1 too much. Right.
Because she gave you $4.25.
Yeah.
And you were supposed to be charged.
She should have given me $3.75. I wasn't thinking straight. Right.
So I was trying to figure out how you got the math.
How bad a mistake could this have been on her part, right? And I actually was talking to her about the chip and what have you, and I kind of took it away from my bet, my wager area, and had it by my chips. And she said, oh, no, that has to stay out there. It turns out it's an IOU.
Yeah, it's got an IOU.
Yeah, I owe her 25 cents. And so that's the way they keep track of it. They don't have any coins on the table.
Of them, she probably takes $1 and picks up her IOUs.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And she even said she didn't like it.
No,
and
it's a lot of work.
She said it was hard to teach new dealers too, that whole concept.
Right.
But I'd never seen it before. But she did say that if you get wiped out, if you lost all your money and you still owe, 25 cents, 50 cents, they just
even 75 cents.
Yeah, they just, we'll see you later. We'll take care of it. You don't owe us, right? So at least they're good about that. And I think
they should have IOUs the other way. You should get. They owe you 25 cents. You give them $1, so you have 75 cents left. You give them $1, and they give you a thing.
That's what casino chips are, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, those are IOUs, all right? So, it also occurred to me that this particular casino, is really trying to go coinless.
Yeah.
Because as your mom pointed out, if you're playing a slot machine, you get a ticket out and you take it to a redemption machine.
It won't pay you the coins.
It won't give you coins. Anything over an even dollar amount, you just get another voucher. 75 cents, 94 cents, right? 1 cent.
Right, 1 cent. And if you want, you can get that by going to the cage.
Yeah, if you actually go up to the cage, they'll give you the
coin.
Right.
But they want you to put that back in another machine and add it to your, whatever you're playing.
So they're trying to go coinless. So, but anyway, I had never seen the little IOU. It's not even as big as a chip. It's like a little lammer, out there.
Like little lammers. Yeah. Well, they're trying to be eco-friendly, right? Because they wouldn't let my dad sign up for a player's card. I mean, he could have a player's card, but if he wanted to get any promos, he had to give them an email.
Oh, well, okay. Sure. I mean, that's common
and she said,
nowadays.
We don't mail anything. But I've got stuff mailed to me.
Yeah, I got something mailed to me. What
and she said, we don't mail anything. We just do it all, to be friendly to the environment. It's all, internet.
All right, well.
But then I got stuff in the mail.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten much in the mail.
No, not much.
Most of it has come through
emails
email.
every day.
Yeah. So, well, okay. But what is that? Eco-friendly, what does that have to do with coins?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you're using metal up. Who knows
it
what
has nothing to do with coins. Let's move on to the next topic.
I bet it must. It's got to have something to do with coins.
All right. Hey, so the Trippies, the nomination for the annual Trippie Awards have been announced, and we've been nominated for Best Podcast. Not sure how that happened, but
I'm not sure
it's quite an honor. So if you haven't...
It's eco-friendly people. Eco or eco, I don't know. Friendly people nominating us.
Yeah, what does that have to do? How are we eco-friendly? I'm still not getting this. So listen, if
you're not wearing clothes,
don't tell them that. I don't know if that's eco-friendly is the right word for that.
Eek. Like E-E-K.
That I can understand. So if you haven't voted already, head on over to vegastripping.com to complete your ballot. You don't have much time, actually. The voting ends at 7:11 p.m. Pacific time on December 10th. So some of you may be listening to this after it's already
Friday.
passed. But it's basically tomorrow after we post this. So head on over right away and vote.
That's typical of us. We're telling you, like a half a day before it
Hurry.
ends, right?
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link at the top of the page. That way, when you make a purchase, we get a little kickback that helps cover the costs of hosting the show, and it doesn't cost you a thing. You'll pay the same price just like normal. I want to emphasize, too, I know when you use this, if you click through our link, you won't get any kind of confirmation that we're getting a little piece of the action, but trust us, we do. It does show up, and we really, really appreciate it. Hey, let's move on to our voicemail hotline. Got a lot of calls this episode.
Nice.
Remember, call our hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 951-2-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And maybe we'll play your clip on the show. First call.
Hi guys, my name is Rye, and I'm giving you a call. Big fan of the show, and wanted to touch base with you regarding the recent trip to Vegas I had. I just missed you guys shortly by a few days. I was out there for the Rolling Stones concert, so I missed the VIMF meetup, but I did want to give you a quick report. I played some craps. It was my first time going to the M Resort off the strip there, and I saw that there was 2 tables. This was on a Friday night. One was a $5 minimum, one was a $10. I played at the $10 minimum table for about 20 minutes. It was doing really, really well. Bounced over to the $5 table, and it wasn't really doing that well, so I played out the rest of my winnings and finally left. One thing I was curious about is I didn't really play the pass line on the come out roll. I just was kind of holding off, and then once a point was established, I did put a bet on the pass line and then backed it with odds and then started doing a couple place bets. the dealer changed my stack. He kind of arranged it differently, and he said, "Oh, since you didn't have a bet on the come out roll, you have to place it like a certain way." And I was just curious why that was different. Why I wouldn't be able to have a bet followed by odds established after the come out roll. Essentially, I was under the understanding I was getting the same payout, but it was stacked differently. So that just seemed peculiar to me, and I didn't want to feel like I was in a position to question the dealer, of course, and they were really, really helpful there and really nice. So I just wanted to get your feedback on that. Yeah, great show. Love you guys. Keep it up, and I'll be looking forward to listening to the new episode. Bye.
Yeah, so if a point has already been established and you make a bet on the pass line, that's called a put bet.
Right.
And most places will let you do that. You can make that put bet.
Sure, it's in their favor.
And then you can take odds. Now, in many cases, depending on how much odds they let you take
right.
at the craps table you're playing at, making a place bet on the point will pay better than making a put bet with odds, putting money on the pass line with odds.
But not always. It depends on
not
the
always,
limits
right.
on the tables.
And in the case of the M, it sounds like, Rye, yes, there were probably points, certain situations where if you'd made a place bet on the number, it would pay the same as if you put money on the pass line with odds, but not necessarily for every point. Yes, it's usually that way for the 6 and 8, sometimes the 5 and 9, not usually the 4 and 10. But what they're trying to do is saying, hey, this is a better bet for you. Place the number instead of putting money on the pass line and backing with odds.
Because, and the one thing that is constant is it's a better for you to place it because you can remove that anytime you want.
That's a good point, right? If you make a pass line bet and back it with odds, even though you did it after a point is established, that pass line bet is now a contract bet. You can't pick it up.
Yeah, you can take your odds back,
Correct.
but you can't take the pass line bet. Whereas if for some reason you wanted to take your place bet back,
yes,
you can do that. So if it's going to pay the same amount, right?
Yes,
you're much better to place it.
Only because you can take it down if you want to.
You can take it down if you want to. And you may not. I mean, I would never take mine down. But if for some reason you did want to, the dice went off the table and you knew 7 was coming, you could actually pull it all back.
Right. So a lot of this depends on how much odds the casino allows you to take.
Right.
In a lot of cases, it is better to make a place bet. In some cases, it's actually better to put money on the pass line after a point's been made and take odds. It depends on how much odds they let you take. Now, in Atlantic City, you cannot make a pass line bet after a point has already been established. They do not allow put bets. Apparently, that's the law.
Right.
And we speculated that maybe the law was written to protect players because putting money on the pass line after a point's been established is bad for the players.
Right. It's good for the casino because they're at an edge.
At the same time, at Atlantic City, a lot of the casinos have 10 times odds. And depending on how much you're betting, you would probably be better off making a put bet. But anyway, I know it's getting kind of complicated here. But that's all it came down to is the dealer was saying, no, you should place this instead of putting money on the pass line right now. You should just place the point.
Yeah. And typically it is better to place it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Next call.
Mark, Dr. Mike, Carl from Maryland. Now, I don't have a good excuse, but for some reason I've just re-listened to episode 9. And after having listened to it, now I'm going to have to go back and listen to some of the other ones. They have any other awesome little nuggets of trivia concealed within them. But in episode 9, we find out that Dr. Mike went to dentistry school, and we also find out that he was receiving thousands of dollars for doing drug studies on the weekends, and then go spending and losing it at the casino. So I was curious, Dr. Mike, how much money do you think you made / lost doing drug studies in your youth? Just curious. Thanks, guys. As always, have a great one. Bye.
That's an interesting question. We didn't always blow the money, so I can't say that I ended up on the negative side.
Okay.
But in those days, the drug studies were fairly lucrative. You'd get like $1,000
for one study.
And now the study might take 2 or 3 weeks. So you might have to spend like 3 weekends in a row at the hospital.
Okay. Not 3 weeks in a row, but 3 weekends.
Just the weekends. Yeah, they were just on the weekends.
All right.
And some of them were as things innocuous as like aspirin.
Oh, okay.
It'd be like, Advil saying, oh, we want to see how fast this goes through someone's system. So they give you 2 Advil and then they take blood every hour for all weekend to see how much is actually left in you.
Yeah.
And some of them were, heart medications and things that probably weren't so good for you.
Any good good side effects you can tell us about?
No, there are actually never any. I never had any problem.
Okay.
I was young and healthy.
Yeah,
They probably could have given me anything and I would have been okay.
All right.
But, we did homework because you had to stay in a hospital room.
Okay.
So we did homework. We played a lot of cards.
Yeah.
A lot of cards.
Yeah.
A lot of poker.
Yeah.
So, if I count the poker winnings or losses, I don't know how that worked out. But we did that. And then, if we had extra money, we'd like, when this is all done, let's go to Reno.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. All right. So any figures you can give us?
No,
right.
I never kept track of that.
Yeah.
But I will say I was probably positive. I did enough of them. Oh, and you could only do so many. There had to be a time in between them.
Okay. Yeah.
Because,
Sure.
they didn't want you to. Hey, here's a funny thing, just as an aside. Women didn't have any. They always wanted young, healthy males.
Really?
Yeah, there was like maybe 2 studies in 4 years that they wanted women, and those were for female drugs that a woman would have to take and not a man. And the girls in my class, especially one person, I'll tell you later because you know her.
I know.
She was furious. They were always furious. How come we can't make money?
Yeah, really?
Well, the drug companies, they wanted healthy young males. I don't know why. That was a while back,
Yeah.
right? That was in the early 80s. So maybe it had something to do with, now they'd probably have to take.
Yeah,
equal-
she has a good point. I'd be mad too.
Yeah, they wanted some money too.
Yeah. But you would take your money to Reno.
I would
Right.
take Reno or Tahoe.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of Reno, let's hear from Will.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Will from North Carolina, and I just took a trip to Reno. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about it. Reno's a really fun place to play, I think. Not as good as Vegas, but, really good low table minimums, really fun dealers. I really loved it there in downtown Reno. I played a lot of craps. It was a pretty rough trip in terms of the craps, but there was one session that was really great I wanted to tell you guys about, and also ask you a question about. So first off, when I got right up to the table, I rolled pretty much first, and it was great. I hit 4 points to the fire bet, and everybody loved me and thought that was going to be this great roll the whole rest of the night, which was really fun. But then a few rollers after me, there was this really interesting guy rolling, and he actually had an extremely good roll also. He hit 5 points to the fire bet, and he rolled a really long time, hitting all kinds of numbers. He was kind of like a young guy, and he was very polite and very good-natured and very energetic. But he also got kind of cocky as he was rolling, and that's what made it so interesting, because he was going against all the usual superstitions and craps. For example, anytime the dice went off the table, instead of asking for same dice, he always asked for new dice. And he was always like, oh man, that die is dirty now that went off the table, give me some new dice. But even sometimes, even when the dice didn't go off the table, he would still ask the stick man for new dice. Like the stick would push him the dice and be like, oh no, I don't like those dice. Give me some new ones out of the bowl. The other thing is he was not afraid to say 7 at all. He'd be like, oh man, we're not going to see a 7 all night when I'm rolling. And everybody was like, oh no, don't say 7. He was like, I ain't scared of the 7. And so he'd be like, look, 7. If he was trying to roll the dice. And of course, they would never hit the 7 until the very end of his roll. But the other thing that was interesting is a couple of times he would actually call his roll and nail it. He'd be like, oh, who here wants to see a 5? All right, hot the 5s. And he'd throw out a hot bet for the 5s, and he'd actually hit it. But here's what was interesting is the second time that happened, the point was 8. And so he said, all right, who here wants to see an 8? Hot the 8s. And then I decided to join him, so I threw in $3 on the 8 also for the hot bet, and what do you know, he hit it, which was really, really awesome. But here's what I thought was interesting. The guy next to me was new to craps, and so he wanted to join in too, so he threw in $5 to hop the 8s. And I noticed the dealers just put the $5 chip right in the middle of the 8s. And I didn't notice when it hit how they decided to pay him out. So I was wondering if you guys had seen that before. I was assuming that meant $2 on the 6-2, $2 on the 5-3, and 1 on the hard 8. But they didn't give him change, and they didn't ask him how he wanted to put it, so I just thought that's the way it must have gone. The other thing that was interesting about it, I noticed in Reno, they let you on the horn bet make a $5 horn bet. They don't give you $1 change, and it's not a horn high yo or a horn high 12. It actually is putting $1.25 on each part of the horn. And I looked up online to kind of see how that works, and I noticed that when you hit the yo or the 3, it actually works out mathematically just fine if it's 15 to 1. But if you hit the 12 or the 2, it actually pays $33.75, but they shortchanged that, which means a bet that's already really bad house edge-wise, they actually found a way to make it worse, which I thought was really interesting.
All right. Then Will got cut off at the 3-minute mark there. But that's always something to keep in mind. A casino will book a bet, even though the payout might not be completely correct.
Right.
In the case of a horn bet, that's actually 4 separate bets, so you always want to bet a multiple of 4.
Right.
So if you don't do that,
any
you
casino
can.
will take a $5. They'll put $1.25 exactly like he said.
Yep.
And you'll get ripped off.
They'll round it in their favor.
Right.
They
round
always
them
round it in their favor. That's
so
right.
you're better off. what I would do is I do horn high ace deuce.
Sure, yes.
Because that's the one usually you get paid a little less on. And the 11's good if you have a come bet, you're going to win that anyway.
Or just say $4 horn, right?
Yeah,
and get the
your
dollar change. Yes,
right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting that on the hop and 8, they 2-2-1. That would be the way they'd usually
if I was a dealer and I got a $5 chip said, here, hop all the 8s. That's what I would do too.
2-2-1.
2-2-1. 2-2 for the
the
easy
hard
ways
way
and one on
pays
the hard
30 to
way.
1.
Now, in Will's story, this player was new to the game, so he probably didn't even know exactly what he was doing. He was
Right,
just betting that
exactly.
8 was coming up
He
on
just
the next
grabbed the
roll.
chip.
And so the dealers probably didn't know he was a new player and just booked it, or maybe they didn't care.
But they could book that any way they wanted.
Yeah, well, they could, but
they wouldn't. They would probably do it 2-2-1, but they could do 1-1 and then $3 on the hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
they could, but they wouldn't. Especially if you're a dealer, and especially the eye in the sky sees a single $5 chip right there in the 8s, it's pretty much assumed it's 2-2-1. Yes, yeah.
But to be clear, he should have given them $6 or $3 or
said 2-2-1.
Or
he
say
just didn't-
2-2-1.
He just was new
or
to the
hop
game.
the 8s, $3 total bet.
That's true too. That's
that would be
true
the way
too.
to do that.
But just the heat of the moment, everybody's winning. Oh, I'd like to make that bet that pays a lot.
Nothing funner than when the hoppers hit.
Yeah, that's funner.
Yeah.
All right. Next call.
Hey, good morning. It's about 4:30 a.m. in Vegas. I was just calling to let you know I was playing the shoot to win at Bally's. And first time ever I saw that the hard ways had a minimum of $3, just like the pass line, which really kind of sucked for a person like me who only likes to put $1 on them. So that was interesting. And also it was interesting to watch the guy across the way who was drunk and passed out, but every once in a while would wake up when he heard push the button and try his best to push the button and yank on the button and then pass back out. So, fun time. Thanks for your show, guys. Love it.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
So the shoot to win craps, it's a machine where you can
Right.
play craps on. And usually the good part about it is that you can play lower limits
Right.
than at a regular table.
Yeah, you can play quarters on.
Well, here's the thing, right? He's saying, okay, it's a $3 minimum, so it's assumed that, okay, you can bet $3 on the pass line. You could
Right.
bet like $3 on the 6 or 8 and would pay $3.50, right? So you would get that.
Right.
But for the minimum on the hard ways, those should be a quarter.
Yeah,
That's
you would think.
Yeah,
right?
that's I never had realized that or even heard that. It
Now,
should be less for those prop bets
exactly
than $3.
And I would think that it's to the casino's disadvantage not to have them be a quarter.
Yes.
Because if it's a quarter, be like, oh, give me all the hard ways. It's $1.
Yes,
right?
right.
But if for $3, that means they've got to put $12 out there.
If they
on
want
hard
all
ways.
the hard ways.
and they've got $3 on the line.
Yeah,
right. I mean,
there's a reason they're playing shoot to win craps,
Right,
and the
exactly.
reason could be that they want to play at lower limits. Yeah, that surprised me to hear that.
it's like the penny machines, right? So penny slot machines. Well, you can bet like $6
Yes.
a pull,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
But you can also bet 40 cents or 20 cents.
Yes.
So there's a wide range is basically my point. Shoot to win is kind of like that too, right?
Yeah, I wonder if the shoot to win machines are programmable by the casino, where they could actually change
That
the
could
limits on
be,
some of the
right.
other bets.
Well, they can probably order one and say, this is what we want the limits to be, or have some way to change it all the time.
There's got to be a way that the casino can actually change it, but I don't know. If anybody out there sees a shoot to win craps game where you can bet less on the hard ways than the table minimum, the machine minimum, let us know. And maybe this was just somebody programming who really didn't know what they were talking about as far as craps goes. So.
Well, a $3 minimum too on shoot to craps seems high to me too. I think it should be $1.
I do too. Sure, on a machine.
Because $3, I mean, you can go to the regular table and play $5.
Yes, yeah.
There's not
it
a
should
lot.
be less.
It should be $1.
It should be less. Although it is nice to get those quarters on the correct payouts for
Right.
place bets and what have you. Okay. All right. Let's hear from our good buddy Taylor.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Taylor from New Mexico, Terra. First of all, we want to thank you for teaching us craps about 3 years ago, getting me into craps. Now the time has
Is
come.
he serious about that?
I know. Sorry, Taylor.
We've kind of won the last 3 poker home games. We play a little tournament-style buy-in with chips, and we've been doing that. And now I think it's time to do some live poker in Vegas. So could you explain to us, from what I hear for beginners, 2-4 limit hold'em is good to do. Quick search says that 1-3 no limit hold'em, there are people who grind it out and make a living, but there's virtually no professionals who try to make a living through 2-4 limit hold'em.
No.
So,
No.
can you walk us through what happens the first time? You know, similar to craps, don't put your hands in the rail and stuff. So, like, what do you do if you need to go to the bathroom? What do you need to do when you have to text? And so on and so forth. What are the things that people will yell at you? Which is basically what keeps me away from trying live poker in Vegas. Thank you, guys. We'll look forward to hearing your next episode. Bye.
Yes, so I agree that playing low limit hold'em is the way to go.
Right. Stay away from no limit.
At least
especially
initially.
if you're not experienced.
Yes, I know no limit is the big popular thing, and that's
Right.
what everybody wants
Seems
to play.
funner, but it's
But no, you want to, especially your first time at a casino, just
Right.
stick with limit. 2-4 limit, I think you're going to have a hard time finding. You might find it at some casinos. Some casinos do have like, oh, here, we'll teach you how to play poker in the casino, and they'll spread like a 1-2 limit game,
Right.
and you'll be playing with other, newbies. But other than that, I think 3-6 is about as low as you're going to see at a casino, certainly a Vegas casino.
Yeah, and an interesting thing about that is I think that 3-6 versus 2-4 in a casino probably doesn't make that much difference if you're playing smart.
Oh, you mean as far as your competition goes?
Yeah, your competition and what you're going to need to buy in for and everything. Because if you're playing smart, you're going to only be playing quality hands.
Yes.
So it's not like at a craps table where every roll you're going to have some money out there and you need a bankroll. I mean, you're going to be playing quality hands. So hopefully, when you're putting $6 out there or somebody's raising you to 12, you've got a hand that's worth being in.
Well, and I'd also say this. Here's another reason I think 3-6 is better is they are taking a commission. They're raking the pot.
Right.
And the rake may be the same regardless of the limits that you're playing.
Exactly.
So they may take the same amount of money out of a 2-4 pot as they would a 3-6 pot. So you're getting ripped off more.
Right.
At a
When you
2-4
do
table
in a
than
hand, you're not
3-6,
going to get as much.
Yeah. So that's what we recommend. At a 3-6 game, you can buy in for $100. $100 is fine to buy in for.
Right, exactly. Especially, like I said, if you're playing quality hands, you don't need a huge bankroll.
Yes. And when you buy in, they will give you a rack of, typically they'll give you a rack of all $1 chips, white or blue, just those racks, those Ike racks that you've seen before that hold exactly 100 $1 chips. Depending on the casino, sometimes, well, first, when you walk into a poker room, you go up to the brush. That's the counter where you sign up for a game. And maybe you have to put your name on a waiting list, or maybe you just go up and say, hey, I want to play 3-6 Texas Hold'em 3-6 limit, and they'll seat you right away. Otherwise, they'll put you up on a list. Once it's your time to play, sometimes you can get your chips at the table, but a lot of times there's a special cashier area just in the poker room.
Right.
And that's where you go and
bigger
you buy
rooms
your chips.
for sure.
Yeah, and then you just take that rack to the table. At the table, some casinos insist that you remove all the chips from that actual rack and put the rack on the floor or, somewhere off of the table. Some casinos do let you keep those racks there. So that'll really depend on the casino. That's how you buy in. And then, once you start playing, those questions you had about, if you need to go to the bathroom or if you're texting, let's talk about texting first. Most casinos now will allow you to text at the table. Just everybody has a phone now. And,
Right. It's
poker,
too common
there's
a
so
thing.
much downtime at a poker table that,
Right.
that's why you cannot be using your phone when you're in the middle of a hand.
Right.
So as long as you're out of the hand, you can be looking at your phone, texting,
Right.
whatever you
so
want
if
to do.
you've folded and the hand's going on, you can text.
Yeah.
And let's say you're, for some reason, texting longer. The next hand comes around, you can just fold your hand.
Well, you could, yes.
sit it
I mean,
out.
that is sure.
Yeah,
well, in that case, I'd actually step away
Just
from the
step away
table.
from the
If you really
table,
needed
right.
to do something
They'll
like that.
pass you by.
And if you do need to step away to go to the bathroom or any other reason, you can do that anytime. As long as you're not automatically in the hand. And when you come back to the table, if for some reason you've missed some of the blinds, they will keep track of that. And if you want to come back into the game right away, they may make you post the blinds that you missed, or you can wait until the blinds come around to you again.
Right.
And that's
And then
usually
you
what I
don't-
do, so that I'm
right.
not posting more
And
money.
then you don't
Right.
have to post
Right.
again.
But you can do that anytime. So now, as far as what people might say, this is where poker casino gambling is so much different from other casino gambling because you're not gambling against the casino, you're gambling against everybody else at the table. So typically it is not as friendly. You will sometimes get some people who are downright abusive.
Yeah.
There are people who will criticize your play, which is one of the stupidest things a poker player can do. You don't want to criticize somebody else's play because
especially if they're playing poorly.
Yeah, that's right. You want them there. You make money off of other people's mistakes and the poor players.
But you shouldn't criticize anyone's play or comment on anyone's play.
Yes.
Like say, oh, you did the right thing because, you did this and and that was the right thing to do. Keep your comments to yourself.
Yeah.
That's probably the best.
Yeah, right. And, you can socialize. That's fine. Usually, between hands, that kind of thing. But it's not the same. So, and it is long hours. Anytime anybody who's played poker, there's a lot of downtime.
Right.
Much more than other kind of gambling. So you'll be sitting there a while, sometimes not doing anything.
Right. And it's not a thing where you can walk up to a craps table or blackjack table. You can sit down at a blackjack table, play 8 hands, and walk away, and nobody thinks anything of that.
Right.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Some guys come up, play 2 hands. Poker's not like that. You sit
Not
down,
usually.
You're probably going to be there a couple hours.
That's true, right. I mean, there's nothing to prevent you from only playing a couple of hands, but they'll look at you sideways and, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you were
usually...
in a locals casino and you regularly came up, played 4 hands and left, people would hate you.
Yeah, they might not even, we really don't need your business. We're not making any money in the poker room anyway. Find some other place to play.
Right.
But no, you make a good point, Mike. When you go to play poker, I think I'll play poker for 20 minutes. No, you're usually sitting down for at least a couple hours.
Yeah. So you have to be there for a long haul. Plus, 20 minutes, if you're a good player, you may not play a hand.
That's true. Right? Absolutely. That wouldn't be unusual at all. Yeah,
right.
That's true. So Taylor, Tara, if you do, good luck. And
and we'll be hoping to see you guys soon in Vegas.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll be out there for 360 Vacation 4.
Yeah,
so
they need to
we'll
come
see
to
you there.
San Diego.
Yeah, that would
That's
be great
what
to
they
see
need
him
to
there.
do.
Yeah.
A weekend here.
Yeah. All right, next call.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Kevin from San Antonio with my wife, Angie. She also came with me to VIMF. We had an amazing time at VIMF, a little bit of a late phone call, but we were exhausted after that trip. The funny thing is we came in Thursday night, came in very late, and we're checking into the Golden Gate, and one of our fellow VIMFers said, Dr. Mike's at the craps table, and we have always tried to hook up at all these different events and never happened. So my beautiful wife said, yeah, go over and play for a little while, thinking it wouldn't be too long. And so went over, and we had a great time playing for a little while. Then went over and played some blackjack, came back. There was some crazy things you hit. There was something like you had a big bet on hard 8 plus placing the 8 or whatever it was. And I've never seen that such a big payout in one roll. Also, our big winning tip this time was throw the dice off the table.
Yep, that was our
Whoever
secret.
threw the dice off the table, next time it happened, guaranteed point every single time. So it can work the other way. I guess all those other times that people thought it was bad news, it worked out for us. So, hon, what was your favorite time in Vegas?
I think my favorite time in Vegas during VEMF was definitely passing out honorary panda stickers.
And what about the concerts? Did you notice anything there?
The concert?
Yeah, did you notice any particular smell at the concert?
Oh. Well, you know what? I wouldn't know, Kevin, because I wasn't like that in college.
So you might have noticed a lot of marijuana smoked at the concert on Friday?
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think my second favorite memory from VEMF this year was definitely approaching you and asking you during the tournament if you wanted some Skittles, and Dr. Mike declaring that I was the best wife, obviously next to his, and then giving us his rundown of his favorite drink, Mountain Dew.
Yep. We talked about Skittles and Dew.
Huh? Yeah, the tournament was super fun. I recommend that to anybody. Everybody has a chance in that thing. I think it just depends on the table you're at. We really get smoked on blackjack, which we're trying to go heavy on. And saw Dr. Mike go out. And, I'm glad to see Mark got to the final table. Good for you, man. We were watching that to the end.
Yeah, a lot of good
But
it did
I really recommend that for anybody.
We also brought along with us a childhood friend of mine. What's up, Jeremy? And he's a relatively new Vegas person, and he had
Second time only to Vegas, right?
Only the second time, and he had so much fun at Vemp. He stayed up, I think, 52 hours?
Yeah, I think at least 2 days straight.
But he loved it, and he definitely wants to come back next year. And Sublime with Rome was actually one of his personal highlights for him.
So thank you again, Mark and Dr. Mike. You guys were great. It was really great to see you. The funny thing was, after staying up all night and playing craps with Dr. Mike, who did I find in the elevator coming down in the morning? I finally met Mark, which I felt a little bad about because it's 8:30 in the morning. See you guys.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I went straight to bed.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, he didn't go to bed.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He sees me coming down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. It was really late when I went to bed because I was hopped up on the
Red Bull. Yeah.
Right. So finally, I just I got to go, Kevin. So I go to bed. Then a few hours I slept, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then you and I are coming down like 3 hours later, and there's Kevin in the elevator. I'm like, so you didn't go to bed?
Yeah.
But he was not kidding. I am serious. Every time the dice went off the table, and we weren't trying to do that.
I know, yeah.
It was just we'd throw it and one would bounce off, and then get the dice back, point made. It happened at least 10 times. And it was just him and I on the table.
Yeah.
And we're like looking at each other like, okay, roll a few times and then throw them off. And it was working out great.
Oh, nice. Good first night. All right, let's hear from Trent.
Hey guys, this is Trent in Bakersfield. I met you guys out at Vimp playing some craps at the Golden Gate. Just wanted to tell you guys that how much I like your show and keep up the good work, and hope to get to play with you guys again sometime. That was a lot of fun to get to meet you guys in person. Go Broncos. I know you guys are Chargers fans, but looks like you guys might get us this year. We'll see how it goes. Good luck.
Are we Charger fans? I'm not even sure anymore.
I don't know.
To be honest with you,
to be
Mike.
honest, I'm not. Seriously now, just to reiterate, years ago when the Chargers would lose and I was younger, I would be pissed off.
Yeah,
It'd be
I know.
Wednesday at work, Thursday, and I'd still be mad. Someone would mention it. My face would get red. I'd be so mad. And it's gotten to the point now where about 5 seconds after the game ends, I'm over it.
Good. All right.
I just move on now.
We talk about this too much. I know. You in order to stay sane,
right? You just
need to have that. Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to die young.
Oh God! And now they're going to leave.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Hi there, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Carter from Portland calling in again. Just wanted to leave a trip report. My trip was actually in the end of September, and I've been meaning to call in, but haven't. But I keep listening to all the new trip reports on the last few episodes, and really makes me want to call in and share. So I went in the last weekend of September with my girlfriend and actually my parents as well. They haven't been to Vegas in like over 20 years, they said, and I've been telling them about what a good time I've been having over the last year going out. So they were in the States on business, and before they flew back to where they live, we all went to Vegas for the weekend to meet, just hang out. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday trip, come back on Monday. It was a really great time. We all stayed at Bellagio, which was really nice. And on Saturday night, the main point that my stepmom wanted to do was see Celine Dion. And they got tickets, and we saw Celine Dion at Caesar's Palace. And it was really incredible. I was surprised about what a good show it was. I mean, I knew it was going to be good. I'm not personally a huge Celine Dion fan myself. I don't dislike her. But seeing her show was really amazing. It was really incredible. She was very talented. People in the audience were crying and stuff in the end. I mean, it was really a great show. And we had some great meals as well. We ate at Rose Rabbit Lie on Friday night at the Cosmo and had just a really great dinner there. It's a great restaurant. The food was excellent and the entertainment going on. Really fun time. My parents really enjoyed it. My favorite part of the trip on Sunday night, we all had dinner at Aria at Carbone because I had liked it so much from the time I went last time. And we had a really excellent meal, and over a couple bottles of wine and whatnot, we were, really loosened up and having a great time. And after dinner, we went downstairs to the craps pit to play because I've been really excited about playing craps with my dad and my parents and stuff. And, they didn't really know how to play, and I've been telling them how much fun it was. And we played a little bit up to this point, but not much. After dinner, we went down to the casino in Aria, and it was really nice, packed, and we found a $10 table, luckily. And it was one of those just classic times. I went first, and I had, pretty above average good roll. I think I made like 3 points and a bunch of numbers in between. And then my dad rolled next, and he had a really good roll where he made a few points and a bunch of numbers. And then my stepmom went, and she had a great roll where she again made a few points and a bunch of numbers in between. And then finally my girlfriend went last, and she went on a mega monster heater where I literally don't remember. We were having such a good time, and the drinks were flowing. And I think she might have rolled for 45 minutes and made like 4 points, but, just rolled so many numbers, 5s and 9s again and again and again and again. And the people at the other end of the table were tipping her, green 25 chips, after every roll because, everyone had so much money out there. And at the end of it, when she finally crapped out, and we all left, I think it was about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half that the dice was just through the 4 of us. And after that, we left and we went to the cashier's cage. And I bought in for $500 and cashed out for $22.50. Had a huge score, and so did everyone else. I think my parents bought in for like $300, and they weren't betting and pressing as much because but they all made like $500, I think. And same thing with my girlfriend; she bought in for like $100. But just one of those classic experiences, and they had a really great time and enjoyed it. And I'm sure we'll go back again. Also, just another quick little side note, my brother was in the Philippines on vacation, and he told me he was at a casino in Manila. I think it was called Dream World, and he found their craps table, and it was a 500 peso limit, which is like $10. And he said it was great fun, Korean and Chinese tourists and Filipino locals. And he said some Korean guy went on a heater and he won like $400, which in the Philippines is like 6 months' salary. And he had a great time and it was really fun. Just let you know they got craps over there in the Philippines as well. And just wanted to let you guys know about my trip, how much it was. Been loving the episodes. You guys are doing a great job.
Good. All right. Well, thanks for the reports, Carter.
Yeah, don't you love it when you get like 4 good rolls in a row like that?
I know.
I mean, it's just awesome when you can get 4 people rolling well. Oh,
yeah,
that's my dream.
We haven't seen it for a while. It's been a little rough lately.
Every once in a while you'll get 2, you'll get back-to-back good rolls, but you get like 3 or 4 in a roll. That's when craps is fun.
Yeah, that's good.
When the money pours in.
And thanks for the info about the Philippines too. The probably it was either Resorts World or City of Dreams. There's no Dream World, but those are 2 of the casinos over in Manila, and they do both have craps. Oh, and I forgot to tell you this, Mike. My sister-in-law just got back from the Philippines, and she's got a T-shirt for you. It's right over there. I'm going to give it to you from City of Dreams. So,
sweet.
Yeah, I'll give that to you.
I'll wear that in Vegas.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll wear that in Vegas.
I just got back from the Philippines yesterday. Right, good. All right, next call.
Hey, guys. Heading down to Harrah's, Southern California for the first time in a year or two. And I was looking through my mail, and I had a coupon for a $55 promotional play. And I searched through your site and backlog of episodes, and I don't really see anything where you guys have talked about the best way to use those or, where advantages you have. It says it's valid only on one win-loss decision on a single wager position. Remains in play in case of a tie. Non-winning will be removed from action. On winning wagers, coupon will be placed with gaming chips equal to the value of the coupon, and coupon will be removed from action. So just kind of curious if you guys can talk about how promotional coupons and chips like that work. All right. Thank you.
Okay, I've never seen a coupon that specifically for Harrah's Southern California.
Yeah, but he's getting it. He doesn't live in San Diego, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, he said he was coming down. So maybe that's why, because, we get local offers. Well, the first thing I would recommend is try to see if you can turn it in at the cage for slot play.
Yeah, because you'd be much better if you could get some slot play out of that.
Yeah, just get it for slot play and like go to a video poker machine, with a good payout.
Right. That would be the way to go as far as, because you can the money you put in there, you don't lose when you win.
Yeah, you just play through it and then cash out.
You play through it and cash out.
Right. It sounds like based on what was on the coupon that's not something he's going to be able to do. So then it comes down to, do you have to use that coupon on an even money wager or on anything?
Well, the ones that we've got when we had chips, it was an even money wager.
Right, and I'm thinking that might be the case. But if it's not, if you can bet it anywhere, mathematically the best thing to do is to put it on a high-paying bet, like a single number on the roulette wheel or a hard way on the craps table, something that pays at high odds.
Right.
Mathematically, that's the better thing to do. However, keep in mind, when you make a bet like that, you're probably going to lose that bet.
Right.
So maybe you don't care about the long-term mathematics, right?
Right.
But if it turns out to be just an even money wager, well, then I'd say don't bet it on blackjack, because what we've talked about before, you may have to deviate from basic strategy as a result. Because what if you have a split hand or a double down hand?
You may not get paid anything for blackjack.
That's true. You get a blackjack, they may get even money. So, bet on craps on the pass line or the don't pass, or baccarat, player or banker. Well, the field's okay because it's quick.
It's quick. Yeah.
No, I'd still recommend
the pass line
or
you
don't
would
pass.
Better chance of winning. But if you just want a quick decision, just throw it on the field.
Here's what I would say, because we recommended baccarat as a good place to make these. What I would do is go to the easy baccarat table, and I know they do have easy baccarat at Harrah's Southern California.
Right.
Bet on the banker there, because there's only a 1.02% house edge on the bank at easy baccarat. That's actually lower than the house edge at regular baccarat.
Right.
And there's no commission. Now, the way they get away with it is anytime the banker has a 3-card winning 7, it's a push.
Right.
And that's how they get past that.
Right.
But
you would just push on that.
You would just push and it would stay out there. So that actually is what I'd recommend if the coupon says you have to make an even money wager.
Right. Yeah. And it probably is that way because
I'm guessing it would be, with the rules that they have. Yeah. All right. One last call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Sean from North Texas. Calling in with the recent trip report I had in downtown Las Vegas. Took my parents out there. We actually went on election day for a couple of days. Very cheap rates, not very crowded, especially that first night. So, good time to go. What got me to call was I was listening back to, I guess it was a couple of episodes back. Caller had called in and was talking about somewhere they were gambling, playing craps, and millennials. We were staying at the D downtown, and at one point in the second night there, it's pretty early in the evening, about 9, 10 o'clock, music's really loud in there. I'm 40 years old, and I'm at the craps table with 3 or 4 other people, and I'm easily the oldest person there. So I started playing, getting really talkative with the stick man. I always try to stand right next to the stick man across from the dealer. And we're all talking, having a good time. It's a party atmosphere. And the guys to the left of me and the one to the right on my side of the table, they're all betting $5 on the pass line, which is cool, but nothing behind it. No odds whatsoever. Even though they were hitting points, getting numbers, that was all they were betting on. That's it. Every once in a while, they would throw it $5 into the field or something like that. Me and the stick man were laughing it up and goofing so much that at one point, the point was like 6 or 8. I don't remember which one it was. I had all of mine backed up. I only had to bet $5, so it was max odds. I think it was 10 times there. And I just started hollering, I will take your action. I want your action.
Smart.
I don't know how long it was. Those guys left. They actually, one came back later, and he finally started taking odds on it after I was literally screaming at him to back up his money. What's weird is not only was I doing it, but the stick man too. The stick man, the dealers, all of them were telling, hey, sir, you can do better with this. You can do better with that. I just thought it was really funny that these guys weren't backing up their odds, even on good number. Doesn't matter what number it is, weren't backing their odds at all. Anyways, thought I'd call in and tell you guys about that. Also, the dealers there, it was the best time in years I had playing. They were so smart, so quick, and very fun. They were very, very fun. That's all I can say about that. Anyways, great show, guys. Can't wait to hear your next episode. Talk to you later. Bye.
It's good to hear about the dealers at D. We've had good experiences there.
We've had very good experiences.
But we have heard a couple of cases where people didn't have so good an experience there. I mean, that's going to happen at almost any casino, but it's good to hear that because we've had good experience there too. Yeah, we will never criticize players for not taking full odds.
Right.
Because sometimes your bankroll just can't handle it. But if you're betting $5 on the line and you're willing every once in a while to throw $5 in the field, keep that $5 and put it down for odds instead. And it could be, these players just didn't know.
They don't know.
Right, yeah.
We see that a lot, right?
Sure.
But you know what burns me up even more? And you know what this is.
All right.
I hate it when a guy walks up to table, puts $40 on the line.
Yeah.
Right. He's got a stack of fives. He got $40. The point comes out 8 and he puts $5 for odds. Oh God. I can't tell you how much that irks me. And I'm thinking to myself, you obviously don't know the game.
Yeah. It's
right. Because it's a $5 table. Put $5 and put the 25.
Yeah, that's what we've always said. If you're going to bet more than the minimum on the pass line, you better be taking full odds.
Yeah.
Because instead, you should be betting as little as you can on the pass line and putting as many odds behind as your bankroll can handle.
They don't understand the game. Well, if your knowledge of the game is that poor, really, should you be playing even?
Well, they're going to give you all sorts of answers. Odds, I don't take odds. I like the pass line. I like the 7-Eleven. Oh, well, all right.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, and that's why we usually don't say anything. But for whatever reason, that just grates on me.
I know. You always point it out. Check that guy at the end of the table. See what he's doing.
Yeah.
Got 300 on the line. He's taking $25 odds.
Sometimes, seriously, you'll see people come up and it looks like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They'll use the lingo. Yeah, give me a horn high aces, and they throw that out there. And then I look and they've got, 200 on the line with $10 odds behind it. I'm like, what is going on over there?
Yeah, that's your pet peeve.
It is my pet peeve. Yeah. I just want to go over and shake them. And what is your problem?
Do that next time. I'll have my phone out so I can
get
record
a picture of that.
Yeah.
I'll do it to Bill.
Oh, yeah. 90-plus-year-old Bill.
90-year-old Bill. Bill, what's your problem?
Oh, my God. When I was out at the casino last week, you weren't there, but Bill I was playing at a $25 table, which I shouldn't have been. I paid the price for that dearly. But every time he walks around, trying to find spots at the table to table, and he forgets. He's older and he forgets, what the minimums are at each table. So anytime he'd come up, the dealers would, oh, hi, Bill. Yeah, it's a $25 table. And he'd go walking off. And pretty soon, whenever he got close to the table, I just yelled out, Bill, $25! And he'd turn around and go the other way.
You know what? My favorite thing, he's a nice man.
Oh, he's so nice.
He's nice man, but I love it. I love when he has a stack of chips at the table. He leaves to go to the bathroom or something. And he comes back, goes to another table and buys in.
That's right. He forgot he left chips at the other table.
Chips over here.
That's right. I know. I mean, they take care of him. They send it over there.
They watch him really close. And he always wants a marker.
That's right. Oh, the poor guy. He doesn't have credit there, but he thinks he does.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point because a lot of people may not understand that even among casinos that are owned by the same company, if you have a marker, it's for that casino.
Yeah, typically that is the case. Yeah, you can't go to another property by the same owner and
so
expect them to have a line of credit there for you.
Caesar's Palace, I can't walk across the street to Harris and say, give me $500. I don't have a marker there.
Yeah.
So, but Bill, he just every week, give me $2,000. Bill, you don't have a marker here. I've had a marker at Harris for,
40 years.
This is Harris, San Diego.
Yeah, we've only been open 20 years. We love him. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Hey, we want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First of all, Ross, he says, thanks for the awesome podcast. Thank you, Ross. Also, a PayPal donation from Tony. Thanks very much. And one from Andrew. He says it's a karma donation for a January trip. So good luck to you. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program to search through all the raw American TV data. Just go to our webpage, youcanbetonthat.com, and click on the link at the top that says TV listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonthat@gmail.com. Also, follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat. We tweet when we're heading to a casino, and we'd love to meet up with you. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. And finally, head on over to iTunes and write a review on us. When you do, it helps us get new listeners. Mike, you're going to Vegas this weekend.
This weekend, I can't wait. Friday. So this comes out Thursday, and we'll be there Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock-ish or so.
And that is the 9th
the 9th of
Friday, the 9th of December. Okay.
Yep. And then we'll be there Saturday all day and Sunday until about 11 or 12.
Okay. So basically one full day with a little bit on each side.
Right.
And you're going to the rodeo. Are you going on Friday and Saturday or just
Friday night?
Okay.
Going to the rodeo Friday night.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much gambling we'll do Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how much I'll do. I don't know how much my wife will do.
Okay,
is what I meant
understand.
to say.
And then Saturday it'll be all gambling. Is that
Saturday
it?
it'll be mostly gambling. No, I'll be at Caesar's Palace Saturday morning, probably until noontime or maybe a little after that.
Okay.
And then we were planning on going to some other casinos that my wife hasn't been to.
Okay.
She wanted to walk around and see some of those.
All right. Okay, very good.
So, but then in the evening we'll either be at Caesar's or Cromwell or one of the
Okay, and
Harris
I'll be in
properties.
touch with you, and I'll tweet on your behalf too.
Yeah,
so
Mark
if
will
people want to
tweet.
meet up with you, yeah,
Yeah, and anyone wants to come by, be more than happy to see you.
yeah, that'd be
Play
great.
some craps.
Good.
As we were getting reports from Kevin and Trent and everything, I was thinking, wasn't that great?
Yeah, I know.
Wasn't
It's
Bim
great to hear those stories. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had so much fun with all those people, just the
Yeah.
whole weekend. You
Yeah,
know,
I know.
It's like going with not just you. I went with about 40 other people.
I know.
You know, that was fun.
It was another great experience. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
already looking forward to next year.
So yeah, next year, and then in March, right, or April.
May. It's
May.
right. Remember,
Okay.
it's a Memorial Day.
Right,
We're going
okay.
to 360 Vegas Vacation 4.
So we'll
Yep.
be there and hopefully meet a lot of people.
Yep.
But that's one of the best things about.
I know.
Well, it's what we do.
It's
right?
what we do,
It's our
of course.
thing we
It's our
do.
thing, yeah.
But we do like to meet all these people. It's funny.
Yeah.
We have friends now all over the country.
Well, and I wish I was going with you to Washington too. So you're going to meet some people there. It's going to be fun to go there.
It'd be
So
good
yeah.
to go there. Yeah, and I'd like, we need to get out more.
Yeah, we need to get out more.
We don't get out enough. That's our
true.
problem.
Yeah, that is our problem. All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.